All right, we're gonna try this again. I was just live and it wouldn't take it. We're inside the Place to Arms Hotel in New Orleans. Check it out. This used to be one man's house, man. Used to be one dude's house. So right over there, come on, man. Right over here, check this out. This is where the horse carriages used to come through, man. They bring the horses right through here. How about that? Fucking ballers. This was one dude's house, man. This is the inside court. It was pre-Civil War. This is money, man. This is rich. Look at this. Think of all the businesses that have come and gone, and this property's still standing here, man. This is the kind of shit that gets me excited, man. Look at this. This is one dude's house. You know, Robert Kiyosaki has the cash flow quadrant, right? You know what I'm talking about? The cash flow quadrant. And what? Employee, S, so you have E, employee, S, self-employed, B, business owner, and then the I stands for investor. This property right here has all that shit going on. You got these people working over here. Some of these people over here work for the hotel. The hotel's owned by an investor. Some of these people here are independent contractors. That's the S. So you're going to see the money flow going on all around you, right? It goes on everywhere, man. So here's an employee over here. This dude's walking, right? He's with the E. Now all these people are living and functioning inside of all this real estate. But the rich motherfucker's the guy that owns this place. He owns it. His family's been holding it down probably for years. Check this out. So a guy could flex on some watches and some cars. You know what this is? This is money, man. This shit'll be here long. So they're remodeling it. So when you see a guy flexing about a jet, let me see this. Let me see a $20 million estate you're holding down, bro. Look at this. This is the kind of shit you flex on. This is trophy stuff, man. This shit here is reserved for the stuff here. This stuff here is reserved for the mighty, man. Because you can't own this accidentally, man. These people are walking around looking at me weird. They don't even understand the money flow that's going on around them. They're remodeling up here. See, when you own real estate like this, you're constantly remodeling. You're constantly putting money into it. You're remodeling up here. Nobody's even noticing that. This dude's walking by. He don't give a fuck about the remodeling going on. He doesn't care about the strength and the power it takes to own some shit like this. You gotta keep this going. You gotta keep this clean, right? So all this stuff is happening in this historic building right now. See, there we go. There's an employee, right? This is the kind of shit that's reserved, man. Oceanfront property. Houses in ancient, cities like this. So I'm gonna go close on that property today. That's a bucket list for me. That's 20 years of grinding doing this stuff, so I can spend some money on some real shit. Long after I'm dead, the properties I pick up here are gonna be around. Any cars and any of that shit is just gone. Jets, watches, all that stuff is gone. This shit here will outlive all of us on this thing, and it'll make wealth and it'll build wealth for generations to come, man. Look at this place. It's fucking amazing. That's the kind of shit you want to get excited about. Stocks, real estate, business. Like, these are the things, right? So if you're an employee, you've got to get money into shit like this. It is your only shot. There's no other way. 401k ain't gonna do it. Now put money in a 401k, but a 401k is not buying you this. It's not buying you this. This is the inside courtyard of fucking build. Like, it is not buying you this. This comes from deals. This comes from doubling money again and again and again. This is on fucking purpose. To get something like this, you don't stumble into this shit. You put incredible focus and power and dedication and singleness of mind. I posted that thing on Instagram last night. And I said, number 9, You can't let life and people and other people's problems sidetrack you. You can't acquire shit like this if other people's problems sidetrack you. If other shit going on sidetracks you. If you get caught up in a fear-based belief system that I gotta pull all my money and I gotta hide it, man. I get this all the time. Do you think the market's gonna crash? Dude, you don't buy shit like this if you walk around in a fear-based mentality and you're not seeing opportunity. Because guess what? In fear, you can't double your money. So you gotta be thinking double money, not fear. Not how do I protect myself, it's how do I grow myself. And even in the midst of fear, even in the midst of collapses and stuff, that's your chance to level up, man. And so I get a lot of pushback sometimes. Well, maybe you should have sold that stock and did this. Or maybe instead of that stock's killing you, it's giving you an opportunity. Maybe Bitcoin at 29,000 was giving you an opportunity, right? Maybe open in the stage one was giving you an opportunity, not a reason to cut it. But look, dude, these kind of things, this stuff, this is courage, man. You don't buy shit like this unless you have courage. That's what is that? That's probably 180 years old. All this stuff. He sold everything. Well, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know why you would do that. If you get your buckets right, you got the do-over account like I talk about in the free ebook, you've got the emergency fund, you got the buckets in order, you don't have any debt, you have nothing to fear. Everyone's problem is your opportunity. One man's foreclosure is another man's opportunity. One man's stock cut in half is another man's opportunity. Go look at go look at W. When that fell massive, one guy was like, oh, that sucks. Another guy sees it as an opportunity. So you got to stop looking at shit on what you paid for it and look at it for what it is. What is it? And so this is how you get landlords that run their properties in the fucking ground because they're like, oh, I don't want to buy a water heater. Oh, I don't want to fix the roof. Oh, I don't want to paint it. Okay, don't do that. And then you won't have this beautiful fucking palace in the future because you were too cheap, man. And so guess what? Stocks are the same way, man. So if you own the whole business of Zillow, like the whole damn place, would you sell it because the price changed? No. So if I own a portfolio of stocks, so when you're watching Shark Tank, and everybody's like, oh, I'd like to be on Shark Tank. Bullshit, you can't even hold a penny stock. You're gonna be on Shark Tank. It takes fucking courage to be on Shark Tank. Those guys they're not employees. They took fucking risks. They went out and started businesses, opening businesses. Now they've done so well in the business spectrum, they're trying to take money and put it out to risk. And they don't get to hit a button and get out. Once they put that money in, it's at risk. This is risk. Like, you have to be a bad dude to hold this down, man. If something happens, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. And so you have to be mighty. You have to have courage. You think just you can just be weak-minded and come up here and buy a $20 million place? No. And so what? So I'm not at a place where I could own something like this. Obviously I don't have the courage. I don't have it. You say, well, I have the courage, then go make enough money to buy it. Like, it's a big picture here, man, right? It's easy to be brave when you got $5,000. It ain't so easy when you got $5 million in the market, right? It begins to fuck with you, the numbers and what you paid for it, if you don't get that mindset part right. And it's easy to be tough on a little, right? It's not so easy to be tough with a lot. But you have to start with a little, right? And so if you're trying to do real estate, the way you get to a $20 million estate like this is you buy one property. Man, look at this. Look at the details of this. Look at that. This is fucking amazing. These things. Look how old these are. It starts with one, man. So I'm fixing to go do this closing. And I'm going to buy the cheapest property on the whole damn street. I'm just squeaking in to the rich boys club. Class A property in a very expensive area. But that's been on my bucket list. 20 years of grinding. 20 years, And it's not 20 years of sacrifice. When I talk about saving and margin and all that, that's the first 7 to 10 years, man. You just got to lay that base. Because the base you lay in that next 7 to 10, that's where the fucking compounding comes in. And then in the third 7 to 10, that's where the wealth comes in. That's where you're buying shit that's reserved for the mighty. You're buying the lake houses and the beach houses. This is where people get it wrong. They go right to buying the lake house. All right, so you got a job and you got a house and you got a lake house. All right, you got a little wealth on that, but you don't have other shit growing. You don't want to get the lake house till you have 10 or 20 other houses. right? You get what I'm saying? You don't want to get all this fancy shit until you have 10 or 20 others, man. So when you go get 10 or 20 other houses that you have at rent, yeah, go buy yourself a lake house. You got people got beach houses, they don't have $1 million, but they got a beach house. They're doing it backwards. Now the beach house is an asset and I love it, but it's a toy. It's a toy that's reserved for the mighty. And as soon as there's a fucking stock market crash or businesses go bad, all those people lose those assets. They never should have had them. They didn't deserve them in the first place. They hadn't gotten to a level. They tried to jump the line, man. Tried to jump the line, and then you bust out as soon as the tide turns, you know, because you're trying to jump the line. So make sure you deserve that shit, right? You hear me talk about that. When you go into the room, make sure you need to be too big for the room you're in. So the way you get 20 houses is you buy 10, right? The way you get $1 million in the market is you put $1 in the market. Now it's easier to get to 2. And so the numbers are fractal, but it's the process. Come on, man. All right, I'm gonna go to this closing. I just wanted to show you guys this beautiful property. This is what I'm trying to do. This is my next level up, is I need bigger, beautiful, better. I don't want to do any. All right, man, you guys be good.